Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Clear.
Okay. My name is Nitin Handa. I'm the Director of Regulatory Affairs for the Hong Kong Shipowners Association, and welcome to this session. We explore the marine science and sustainability in this particular session, and we'll have our panel speakers. Will introduce themselves briefly. Our panel explores how museums can reflect and present the challenge of decarbonizing the maritime industry, and which is an urgent priority, intricately connected to the ocean literacy and management of our vital maritime ecosystems. Through today's presentations, we will see how each speaker combines science, curation, and educational practices to bridge the industry and heritage institutions, inspiring new ways to tell these stories to the broader public and promote impactful collaboration. So with that, I hand over to our first speaker, Dr. Connie Moon, Head of Marine Discovery Center at Hong Kong Maritime Museum. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Captain Beatty. So welcome everyone to the Hong Kong Maritime Museum. So today I want to open the doors for continuous discussion and also potential collaboration on pushing for the marine science education. And please come back to my LinkedIn or email me so that we can continue our dialogue. I'm going to tell you how we do it through the history, art, and science. So first of all, this is the Earth, where we are now standing. And you can see it resembles a blue marble, which I prepared a slice as a gift, blue marble. If you come forward to tell me a story about ocean, I'll give you one as a gift. So the ocean itself is very important, right? It covers 70% of the Earth's surface, provides us with food and the air we breathe in, and also brings for our economic development, etc. But not everyone is aware of its significance. So that's why we are here. The Swan Marine Discovery Center aims to lead the collaborative efforts with partners in Hong Kong for marine science education, fostering the public knowledge and appreciation for a sustainable and responsible approach towards the marine environment and its biodiversity. We explore human-ocean interaction with the community through history, art, and science. So basically, human-ocean interaction is the ocean literacy itself, right? Okay. So I'm going to show you how. First of all, I want to ask you a question. What is a sea turtle to you? So as a scientist, marine scientist, it is a subject to understand its ecology and to inform the conservation measures. But to look broadly, including the history and culture, so turtle is a symbol of good luck, prosperity, and longevity. It also represents the world in many cultures. So I myself attended a ceremony, a celebration every Lunar New Year in Panhu Islands of Taiwan, where the local people here, they use real gold to make turtle, and at the same time rice turtle to bring blessings to the locals. Also, I made numerous trips to other places where I can find turtles in temples, the Longgui, the dragon turtle in Malaysia, and also the BC in Vietnam. This is the first national university in Vietnam. Now it's called the Temple of Literature. This turtle carries the rock here that engraved hundreds of ancient scholars in the past. Back in our museum, if you look closely, you can find turtle boats. This is the Korean turtle boat used in the past by Koreans to fight successfully against the Japanese and other invaders. So it's also a symbol of strength in their culture. Tortoise shell is a very common, it was a common trade product in the history. So I took this picture in the National Museum of Singapore. This is the horsebill turtle, taxidermy turtle. In folklores around the world, I give you a few examples here. The Chinese folklore like 女娲补天, and in Japanese, the Urashima Taro, and also in Jeju Island, the Korean, the sea women called Haenyeon, they regard turtle as a very sacred animals that relates to God. So besides turtle, fish, very familiar with Chinese culture, is a symbol of wealth, abundance, and prosperity. In our museum, you can find this statue, the Shen Huan statue. He carried fish and also stand on fish. That brings the fortune and also prosperity to the fishing community. At the same time, are you familiar with this? The merlion. If you visited Singapore before, it's a blend of lion head and the fish body, which also brings prosperity to the nation. So talking about ocean is also a source of inspiration to the humanity, to our culture. So the part of the intangible cultural heritage is the dragon boating and the craftsmanship shown in our museum, as well as Tin Hau Festival. All these festivals or activities still happen nowadays every year in Hong Kong. So close to my home, I give you an example. Also inside a temple called Temple, the Tam Gong Miu, we can find the dragon boats and also the fishing boats inside the temple. The festival itself is also an intangible cultural heritage. So I also traveled to Taiwan to celebrate the One Year Boat Festival, which is a very festive event. You can see many people come here. I myself also told with the locals the One Year boats, and by burning the boats, it means to get rid of the bad luck and send messages back to One Year. So recently in Taiwan, Pingdong, they built a cane boat museum to commemorate this craftsmanship and this intangible cultural heritage. In fact, on the boats, you can see the craftsman paints the authentic seafood. This is the seafood we can find still nowadays on the boats. So whale bones is commonly seen as a sacred worship blessing in temple around Hong Kong and also like in Japan or Malaysia, Vietnam. So I want to test your knowledge or imagination. So this is a historical documentation. We call it Illustrated Album of Sea Miscellany. So can you guess what these animals are? These are all found in nowadays ocean. So I can give you an answer now because of the time. Horsebill turtle. This is, you can see the beak, right? And also this is mud skipper. So this is day back to 17 that the naturalist, the biologist documents the organisms, marine creatures by illustration. Very interesting. So in the western part of the world, on the sea chart, you can also observe marine creatures, probably whales, in the polar regions here in 1589. So linking history to arts. One example is the export trade products. Now in our museum, we have these objects, the mother of pearl shell carved with dragon boat motif. You can see people in the past make use of natural resources. And also with the inspiration of ocean, they use the marine creatures like fish and dolphins. This is dolphins in the past, okay. So that you can find in the local, the export trade products as well, now in display in our museum. So I want to give you a quick glimpse of these very interesting fishermen's song, and this is one of the topics we can introduce to the public in our museums, that in the blend of history and art and science. That is the fishermen's song sang in duet or in group, where they exchange information about the fisheries resources, and in this example, introduce the 3 different species that they catch. This is a very interesting interaction between the community and also their cultural significance. It is also an intangible cultural heritage in Hong Kong. So in our museum, we have the exhibition, the arts and science interplay. For example, the underwater photo and video competition with the government and Underwater Association, and also with TNC, the NGO, about oyster restoration. So here in this hall, on the World Ocean Day, we carried out the movie screening of Ocean with David Attenborough, which you mentioned, yes. And also we have a post-screening sharing of marine science knowledge and conservation message. And also, and on another occasion is with the director of Mother of Buffalo to stress the importance of white sand conservation and how it is related to ocean conservation as well. So we carried out with partners the workshop of artwork, introducing biodiversity, and also with these traditional skills to print the fish so as to appreciate nature. So this is our in-house production, the animation called Ocean Guardians, where I myself, the avatar here is Dr. Connie here, yes. So to introduce to the public, the children, interesting fun facts of ocean, as well as how we can protect it. So you can check it out on our website too. I'm not going to show you now. I myself composed a song too. So if you are interested, you can come to me, I can play to you. Play the track to you, but I can also sing to you. So this is AI generated image. Hold on. Okay, sorry. So this is the image. So this is the image that shows you how the song can relate to the ocean, and the children can learn through the vocabularies. Like here, this is basically the animals are embedded in the lyrics. So the children can know that we are sharing the ocean with diverse marine life. So Marine Science Gallery, just few steps away. I will be happy to lead your tour. So this is about learning the local marine waters and the threats faced by the ocean worldwide. For example, unsustainable fisheries, marine pollution, plastics, and also climate change, global warming. More importantly, how we can do, and what we can do is the collaboration in conservation work. What each individual can do, you make a conservation pledge here, so you can share with your friends and learn more through our guided tours. So by educational worksheets we develop, it's also available in our gallery too. So this is a tool for the students and children to learn by visiting our museums and also playing through the games to save the ocean. Basically save the mother turtle, Mamma Mia, yes. Like doing this food web game, and also sorting out the bycatch issues, also making the conservation pledge as an interactive and engaging way to learn the marine science. We also relate our publication to the international practice, the SDGs, and also a UNESCO Ocean Decade, which the keynote speaker today mentioned, which is very important to us. In our workshop, we focus on biodiversity so far, but we're developing workshop on plankton, the microscopic microorganisms in Victoria Harbour. So this is basically a game for children to learn with their friends and classmates and family the biodiversity we can find, and also the adaptations of marine life in different habitats found in Hong Kong. In this space, we regularly host public talk and engaging marine scientists to deliver topics about the biodiversity and the use of information hub, conservation actions we can take, and targeting at professionals like Captain Meeting also attended before the Green Shipping conference, and also other nature-based solutions and sustainability topic. We also engage marine scientists to deliver workshops that the public can acquire skills and experience as marine scientists. Collaboration is the key, where we host the Swire Family Fun Day, engaging over 3,000 participants with 9 partners in different variety of activities. So also reach out to partners in mainland China, including university, NGOs, and other maritime museums and ocean museums. Digitally, beyond the physical space, we engage the community through social media, also to mainland the Red and Weibo WeChat. So we also have a dedicated website. Please scan the QR code and then check out our activities and worksheets. And finally, please follow our Facebook and Instagram to learn more about blog and also other activities that we are hosting here. So to recap, we are mission-driven and people-centered program. Know our audience need and develop the local relevance program like the local marine ecology and school curriculum, and engage partners like marine scientists to diversify our topics and build our capacity to train the educators, reach out to the public through social medias, and to evaluate our performance in a qualitative and quantitative way. So by that, I want to stress that ultimately, we want to engage people and rebuild their connection with the ocean. I hope through this presentation today that you also feel more connected to the blue planet.
To zero in on measuring or quantifying our approaches, because I believe that you first need, if you cannot measure it, you cannot improve it. And one stood out the most in our effort to measure our impact, and that is the dwelling time. So for many, dwelling time refers to the amount of time visitors actually spends inside the museum. And dwelling time gave us the deepest insight into whether we are creating meaningful engagement. And to my surprise, after collecting data, we found that the average dwelling time at our museum was only 30 minutes across 6 galleries. So that means a visitor only spent an average of 5 minutes per room. So it's a very, very short amount of time in exploring the entire building for our museum. And when we compared our findings and our collected data with other museums in their published content, we noticed a common pattern. Visitors typically spend only 3 to 5 minutes per gallery, and this is common across all museums. The larger the museum, the shorter time per room. For the British Museum, again, this is based on their published data in their website, this is 90 plus rooms. So imagine 90 plus rooms, and they spend, an average visitors only spend 2 hours and 25 minutes. For the Getty Museum, it is 41 minutes for 11 rooms. And for the Smithsonian's African American Museum, so this is a pretty large museum, so an average visitor only spend 2 hours for the entire museum. And I find this problematic because the shorter the dwelling time, the lower the recall. And the lower the recall, the smaller the chance for introspection. Meaningful reflection is difficult if visitors only spend a few minutes digesting an exhibition. So just imagine reading a text or a paragraph already constitutes around 20 to 30 seconds. What more if that covers the entire museum? Basically, if we created this large museum, barely anybody will be covered in that, and people will just look at it, gaze in it, and then move forward. And beyond time, we also observe a hierarchy of attention. Visitors focus mostly on object, then captions, and then finally, text panels. In fact, very few read longer text in our museum. So we did this very small experiment. Nobody read the content or the text of the museum, which is quite aside. So we spend a lot of time finalizing or improving those content. And this insight pushed us to reconfiguring our exhibition with the goal of deepening visitor engagement. Okay. The Icon Museum definition, which was explored earlier by Ann Laishun, I think he is the president of ICOM ASPAC. The Icon Museum definition highlights 6 core functions. So these are highlighted in color yellow. These are research, collects, conserves, interprets, exhibits, and education. And using these keywords as our operational framework and recognizing that visitors dedicate the most attention to objects or collection, we revised and reconfigured our exhibitions. Our initial curatorial approach gave primacy to collection. We started sorting artifacts, identifying items likely to capture the attention, and building a story around this collection. We also invested in research and translated this into an exhibition. So basically the process first to handle our collection, do a research into it, this is our publication, and then based on this collection and research, convert this into an exhibition. But I want to emphasize this, simply swapping objects or reconfiguring the collections or selecting interesting items, let's say something that people might be interested with, did not increase the dwelling time. So basically, even if you have chosen or have already identified an interesting item, this will not increase the dwelling time. So as a remedy, so here comes the word education, basically a complete reversal of the current traditional approach in the museum community or the creation or collection-led approach by most curators. In this approach, we design the educational program, then we create the supporting exhibit, then we finally conduct the research, and then finally, we select the objects that aligns with this educational goal. Today, Ames Museo Maritimo has two flagship educational programs shaped by this education-led curation approach. So I think I would like to highlight that again. Education-led curation or curatorial approach. One is the mystery game room approach or experience, and the second is our modular exhibition. So I would like to first focus on the mystery game room as an example of an education-led curatorial approach. So again, let's follow the process from education to collection. So we launched a mystery game room inspired by escape rooms and scavenger hunt. So who among you here are familiar with escape room or breakout rooms? Yeah, so many. Have you already played one during your, yeah, so it's really also popular here in Hong Kong. So in the Philippines, it's really popular, especially among Gen Zs. And again, because majority of our visitors are Gen Zs and millennials, we have decided to pursue the mystery game room as an example. So in this program, artifacts are hidden throughout the museum, connected through stories based on maritime lore and historical events. So the narrative, not the object, drives the experience. Only afterwards do we insert the relevant collections that fit into the story. So I hope you are seeing the process in here in a traditional curatorial approach whereby you select a very important item, place it right at the middle. In our case, we literally hid the object inside the treasure box. And if they want to find that collection and to know more about it, they need to find the key hidden in our museum. So a complete reversal on how we do traditional curatorial approach. Here, education and adventure dictates the curation. A complete reversal of our earlier object-first approach. So I would like to proceed with the second example. So this is a modular exhibition. We also develop modular exhibitions. So these are gamified learning kits designed to tell a story aligned with faculty needs. Teachers can borrow this material for their classes. So in this process, we start with the educational activity. Then we design the exhibition kit, the one that you're seeing on the second right. And then next, we expand the content with research. Okay, sorry. And then finally, we integrate objects that supports the lesson. Once again, education comes first, collections comes last, a reversal of traditional curation. So these are our students or our interns. So here are examples of our modular exhibitions, and I would like to highlight that these were co-created with our students who demonstrated remarkable creativity. So their work aligned with the curriculum and explored themes such as the maritime industry development plan of our government, and of course, themes such as the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals. And by including our sustainability, financially, environmentally, and most importantly also socially. So this brings us back to our initial question. What kind of curation makes a museum truly sustainable? So in the beginning, the hardest challenge was really figuring out how to sustain the museum. The breakthrough came when we stopped curating for collections and started curating for people. So I would like to highlight this. Education drives sustainability. Engagement ensures impact, and adaptability secures our future. And this is my call to action to everybody, that true sustainability is achieved not just through the conservation of resources, but through the curation of meaningful learning experiences. And before I still have time, right? Yeah. So we actually hosted also the show, the show of David Attenborough, The Ocean. And there was actually two important themes there. Number one, that we are really in a near climate catastrophe, which is very unfortunate. But the good part is that our ocean is our biggest savior. Basically, we just need to protect our ocean, and this can become our lifeline to avoid that climate catastrophe. And it is the maritime industry who plays the largest role in ocean conservation and protection. And unfortunately, we are almost seeing this divide between the marine underwater world and the maritime industry. So we in the maritime industry, shipping, if there are some stakeholders here, often do not really cover life underwater. Their priority is life at sea. And this divide unfortunately created this division of understanding that we need to learn what's happening under the sea for us to serve or protect our planet. And using this call to action, and I hope everyone that it is the maritime industry who will be the key for us to solve and to win our fight against climate change. So I would like to end my presentation. So thank you for listening, and for more information, kindly visit our website, www.amesmuseomaritimo.com. I would like to share more, but because of time constraint, so just kindly feel free to visit our website. Thank you very much.
So afternoon, everyone. I'm Mavis, and I'm a marine insurance broker. I'm not gonna bring any commercial analysis to each of you. I just wanna share a story with you. So in our Asia, say, to more polite and to more harmony. So let's continue it. So the core difference is that in our Asian culture, we will give us a value system to respect the ocean as well as to treat each other with gratitude. But during the Europe side, the Poseidon principle, they gave us a methodology. We have the ambitions, we need to quantify the risk and to harness the technology. I think compared to the west side and oriental side, we need to collaborate with each other. Although we are the look side, we are the parallel lines, but from now on, we have new technology, we have new method to master the risk, so we have to collaborate together. So I would love to share the Poseidon principle from the Europe side, but how do we deploy it in the APAC market? As we know, in 2025, we have a big problem, which is the climate change. And as we know, there's climate warming and the temperature is going to be higher and higher. I believe in the Southeast Asia, it's like quite hot every day, summer is there every day. But even in Hong Kong, for the winter, we don't need to bring a lot of shirt, and it's going to be hot. So I just want to say, if we should face this problem together, we have to collaborate with each other. So we should use our Eastern spirit of the gratitude in our bottom of the heart, as well as to use the Europe way to quantify the risk, as well as to know how to evaluate the carbon emissions of a vessel, so that we can use our skills and knowledge to face the difficulty of the carbon emission, as well as to lead ourselves to handle the carbon emissions and protect our environment. So let's get some more details about the Poseidon principle. As I mentioned before, the core subject is like we need to deploy the European principle in our Asian market. So let's move on. Let me share the history about it first. So in 2019, the Poseidon Principles for Financial Institutions has launched, which is in the bank side, like SMBC, BNP, and any like famous banks. They already joined it to be the signatory. And after 3 years, for our marine insurance side, we have launched it. And based on the standard and their performance in the bank side, we also use the same principle ways to evaluate the risk. But after 3 years, we have some more signatories, and as our CTS, we are the first Asian bank to join it. And we hope like we are not just the Asian base joining first, as well as to be the first promoter in our APEC market. Companies can join it, can share the data, can support the transparency about the carbon emission as well as the green transition. And we are glad to share like in 2025, there's already 25% of the total debt weight of the world fleet within the reporting scope. And we hope like in 2027, there's more than 50% of the global fleet can join it. So in the end, I want to share like the next few years. So in the next months, the IMO will hold an extraordinary MEPC session for formal adoption of MARPOL Annex Amendment. And in the next year, they will approval of more details and to show some guidelines for the net zero framework. And in 2027 and 2028, so the global world will entry into our ship owners, especially our own Asian ship owners. So in the end, I just want to call to action, not in a commercial way, but most importantly is the cultural way. Because I think most of you are not in our like insurance side, bank side, but you are more important. Because you can show some cultural way to share your knowledge, to share your expertise in your net zero framework, to show how do you know like the green, how do you know the carbon emission. And we hope like in our Asian culture, we can use our gratitude heart, like our ma to be a rudder, constantly reminding us to protect the ocean and our communities, and be aware of incentivizing our green choices to unite our industry. And we also use some like calculation and strategy from the Europe side to use their powerful and mastery to be our sail, to broadly leveraging data, technology, and innovation to precisely measure and manage risk, to navigate the powerful waves of this green transition. So in the end, I just want all of you to join us, and no matter in any way, just to show what do you think, what do you like, and what could you support. So in the end, I would love to share a slogan about ILCC, which means Insurance-led Cultural Compass. But it's just for me, for this branch, it's like insurance-led, but we can also like museum-led and bank-led. But all of us just want to say, if you don't have any details about the concept of the carbon emission, about the green transition, never mind. Let's go imagine first to think about it. What's the green picture for you in the future, and what's look like the green shipping future? So let's go imagine first. And then if you are curious about it, let's go learning. We can learn some new concept and how to the technology and the way to evaluate. And then we can go conveying. Like me now, I'm conveying my ideas from the insurance side, and I'm also happy to see a lot of insight from museum side, from other sides. In the end, so we just here for co-creating, to creating our own Asia rules and creating our own like Hong Kong rules, Singapore rules, Philippine rules, And for our Asian people, we just creating together to protect our values, to protect our ship owners, to protect each shareholders in our APEC market. Thank you so much.